السلام عليكم.
Hello. How are you today, Selma?
Fine, and you?
I'm okay, I'm good. Okay. Let's check the book.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام. Hi, Rashid. How are you today?
الحمد لله، كيف حالك أنت؟
Please, good, good. Okay, so do you have a blackout?
Dr. Su.
Hi.
Yes.
Hello, doctor. How are you today?
I'm fine. I'm Fatima.
Hi, Fatima. Are you Fatima from, which one are you? What's your Facebook name? Is it Dol?
I'm news. Yes, Dal.
Okay. Hi, Dr. Fatima. How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm okay.
Good.
Okay, just let me check.
Hi, all colleagues.
Yeah, so today we have a new guest. Dr. Fatima here. I think she might continue in elementary, maybe in maybe also in pre-intermediate. We're not sure.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you?
How are you today?
Good, thanks.
Alhamdulillah.
All right. So who has electricity today and who doesn't have electricity?
We don't have.
Okay, Rashid, you don't have electricity. And what about you? Where's Salma? Do you have electricity? Do you have power? I think you have. Okay, anyways, we can start. All right, so a very quick revision from our last lesson. Last time we started with this lesson, people who changed the world, and I asked about some of people you think who changed the world, some of the important people around the world, and I didn't get a lot of names, but this was the lesson. But let's check the lesson before it. Before it, we were talking about was and where. If you remember in the lesson about 3 generations, we used some adjectives, opposites, happy, unhappy, poor, rich, hot, cold. So we had some adjectives here: intelligent, stupid, crowded, empty, right? And we talked about 3 generations of in one family. We have Rebecca, Margaret, and Helen. So we talked about Rebecca's birthday, talked about Helen's birthday when she was 13. And we even talked about Margaret's birthday when she was 13, right? So we talked about this in our last lesson. We also discussed how to use was and were in the positive, and how to use wasn't, weren't in the negative. So we say I was, he was, she was, it was, if you want to use was, but you have to say you were, we were, they were, right? So we talked about this last lesson. We also talked about the negative. So you can say I wasn't, he wasn't, she wasn't, it wasn't. But if you use you, we, they, of course you have to say you weren't, they weren't, we weren't, right? So we talked about that. And we also made questions with WH question, right? So we said like this question: when was Margaret's 13th birthday? And the answer is Margaret's 13th birthday was in 1953, right? So this is a WH question using was. And you can use also yes, no question using was. Was the weather good? Yes, it was. No, it wasn't, right? So we agreed that was and were, this is the past of verb to be. Am, is, and are. So in the present, you say, I'm a teacher, or I'm an engineer, or he's a doctor, or she's an architect, or a teacher, right? But if we want to talk about the past, we say, I was a student. He was a student. They were students. You get the idea? So was and were, it's the past of is and are and am. So all of this was last lesson. So we also finished these verbs. We talked how to use these verbs. So we say start school, start my first job. We say finish school, finish university, meet my husband, meet my wife. And we say get married, get divorced. And here we have another group of verbs. So we say have a son, have 3 children. We say become a lawyer, become a president. We also say study languages, study law, and we say write a book, write a letter. So we did this last lesson. And if you remember, we talked about Nelson Mandela, right? You remember the story about Nelson Mandela?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so let's do the listening one more time, because I think last time, let's write the answers from our last question, because last time we finished question number 2, but we didn't finish question number 3, right? So we only did question number 2. So let me write the answers again from question number 2. Let's put them in the right place. So when was he born? When was Nelson Mandela born? When was he born?
18th of July 1980.
All right, so we have the 18th of July. So this is when he was born. Okay. Then we have, when did he start? Okay, let's write it here better.
University.
18th.
1943.
43, okay. And he finished university in... Wa alaikum salam. Hi, Najat. I think you don't have very good connection today. All right, number 3. What's the answer? When did he get divorced? When did he?
1996.
19. What? Number 3.
57.
Correct. Yes. This is his first divorce,
Okay.
right? Because he got divorced a lot of
Yes.
times. I think he enjoys divorce more than marriage, maybe.
Yes. Maybe.
Okay, maybe. Yes. So he got divorced in 1957. And how many children did he have with his first wife?
Is it
Two.
the
2.
two, I think.
Yeah, from the CD, they were 2. And how many years did he stay in solitary confinement? How many
18.
years? Correct.
18.
Yeah, she stayed 18 years alone in prison. And how many years after he left did he become president? How many years?
4 years.
Right. So 4 years after he left prison, he became president of South Africa. Then he got divorced in which year did he get divorced?
1996.
1996.
Right. Okay, so let's confirm this. Let's do it in the listening one more time, and then we can do question 3, and we can check it together. Okay. So let me take you to the listening. So this is elementary simple 2.
Face2face Elementary. CD2.
Are flat.
Not those, the red ones. Want. Wanted.
I slept a lot.
Recording 6.7.
In 1964, he went to prison. In 1938, and studied law. Oh, it wasn't.
Okay.
Were they big parties?
Not this one.
Yes, they were.
No, they weren't.
Where was the party?
When were you born?
Recording 6.5.
Okay, here it is. So let's listen to the story of Nelson Mandela from prison to president, right? From prison to president. Okay. Okay. So let's listen.
Nelson Mandela was born in South Africa on the 18th of July, 1918. He started university in 1938 and studied law. After he finished university in 1943, he lived and worked in Johannesburg. He was very interested in politics and wanted to change the political system. He became president of the ANC, the African National Congress, in the Transvaal in 1952. He had 2 children with his first wife, Evelyn. They got divorced in 1957, and in the same year, he met a woman named Winnie Madikizela. Nelson and Winnie got married a year later, and they also had 2 children. In 1964, he went to prison. He stayed there for 26 years and was in solitary confinement for 18 years. But the world never forgot Nelson Mandela, and in 1994, only 4 years after he left prison, he became president of South Africa. Nelson and Winnie Mandela got divorced in 1996, and 2 years later, he married his third wife, Graça Machel. When he was president, he wrote a book about his life called Long Walk to Freedom.
Okay, so
Recording 6.6.
oops.
Start.
Okay, so all of the answers are correct from last time. Okay, so now let's put the events of his life. let's put them in the correct order, okay? So, of course, first thing, he went to university. What's the second thing that happened in his life story?
He got married.
He got married, B, all right? Let's put number 2 there.
No,
What is it?
he and his first wife got divorced.
Can you get divorced before you get married? What does divorce mean, Salma? Divorce. Do you know divorce?
Yeah.
Divorce means you were married and now you're not married. It's the end of marriage, right?
Yeah.
So we can't put divorce before marriage, I think. But maybe he got married. I think this is the first thing, right? Yeah. So he got married. This means B is the correct answer, I think. So B is number 2. All right. What's the next thing in his life story?
He went to prison.
Are you sure?
He and got divorced.
Yes, I think he got divorced before prison, right? When did he get divorced?
In 1996.
Are you sure? This is his second divorce. What about his first divorce? When was his first divorce, Rashid? Fatima, can you find it? His first divorce? When was his first divorce?
In 1957.
Okay, 1957. Is it before he went to prison or after?
Before.
Correct. So this means he got divorced. This is number 3, right?
Yes.
All right. Okay, what's number 4? What happened after his first wife got divorced? After he and his wife got divorced?
He went to prison.
Okay. Then he went to prison. Okay. What happened next?
E.
Yes, Selma. What happened?
He left prison.
Left prison.
He left prison. Oops, I made a mistake. 4 is he went to prison. This is number 4. So he went to prison, number 4. He left prison, number 5. Correct. What happened next?
He became
president of South Africa.
Right.
South Africa.
Correct. Then he became president. Then what happened?
He got married for the 3rd time.
Right. He got married for the 3rd time. Okay, so this is his life story, right? This is the order of the events in Mandela's life. Okay? All right, so let's go to our next question here. Question number 4. Let me take you to question number 4. So here we have the past simple, regular, and irregular verbs. Okay? So here we want to find out what's the difference between regular verbs and irregular verbs. Do you think there's a difference or no difference? What do you think?
Yes.
What's the difference, Rashid?
Yes.
Regular verb in the past.
Regular verbs
In the
always add ed.
Okay, let's listen to Rashid talk about regular verbs, and Kilani, you can tell us about irregular verbs. Let's see the difference. Okay, so Rashid, tell us about regular verbs. What happens to regular verbs when we change them to the past? Look at start and finish, study. Can you change them to the past? How do we change?
No.
Can you change them to the past? Start. كيف حتولي لك في الباست؟ Fatima, can you tell us, please? How do we change regular verbs? What do we do if you want to change these verbs and make them in the past tense?
By added it.
Yes. So for example, start, it becomes
started.
Correct. And study?
Started.
Studied.
Yes. Correct. Okay, Rashid? Do you see what we do? We put,
yes.
We add ed usually, or d, sometimes only d. But it's usually ed, but sometimes d. We add it to the verb and it's in the past, right? So started, studied, finished, right? Okay, Kilani, can you tell us what about irregular verbs? What do we do to irregular verbs?
Irregular verbs, every word is different from the other. Like
you're right.
Become, became, have, had, like.
Correct. So there's no rule, right?
No rule, yes.
Correct. Okay, now let's try to find all the past verbs of these two boxes, okay? So we want to find all the past verbs in the text. So maybe I should zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole story. I think I need to zoom out more. Maybe we can do a little bit. Okay, so now we have the whole story, or the whole biography of Nelson Mandela, and we have all the verbs. Okay, so let's find the verbs together. Okay, so was born in He
started.
Okay. Let's use the red one. The red one, I think, maybe better. Let's use the red color. All right, so he started. Okay. And the and.
Studied.
Correct. Studied. After he.
Finished.
Finish it.
Right.
Finish it.
And he
Lived.
Correct.
And worked.
And worked. Correct. He was very interested in politics and
wanted.
Right. He wanted to change the root system. He
became.
Is this regular or irregular became?
Irregular.
Correct. It's an irregular verb. So became is an irregular verb. He
had.
Correct. So he had 2 children with his first wife. They
got.
That's correct. in the he
met.
correct. So he met a woman and he got
married.
married. هنا زي adjective ما هيش. They're not using it like a verb. Okay, and they also had okay, he in 1964 he
Went.
went. And then he
Stayed.
correct. So he stayed. And was in colorful. With the word never. The world never
Forgot.
yeah.
Forgot.
The world never forgot, correct? And only after he
Left.
correct, left president, he became given, and he got divorced. They married. He married. هنا كverb نستعملها هنا كمان نشبه. Don't عندنا married. Correct. So married is the verb we want. Because here we have married in the box. Can you see it next to stay? It's a regular verb. صح ولا؟ So married. He married his third wife when he was president. What's this? He wrote. And wrote is the past of right. Correct. Okay, so now we found all the verbs. All the verbs in the two boxes. We wrote them. We found them and underlined them. Okay. So now we can answer the questions. All right. So Rashid, can you read the first question, please?
What's the last two letters from regular verbs in the past simple?
What's the last two letters?
ED.
Correct. Okay. All right. Selma, can you read the question 2, please?
What are the endings of regular verbs that end in e and in
consonant
plus y?
Okay. خلينا ندير الجزء الأول. قال لك what are the endings of verbs, regular verbs of course, that end in e? Can you show me a regular verb that ends in e, Salman? Can you see a regular verb that ends in e, like what? Which one? شوف اللي هم stay. هل stay تنتهي ب e? You have to look.
Live.
سلمى قلتها ولا ما قلتيهاش؟ Can you see live? معنا سلمى ولا مش معنا؟ Are you there? Yeah. احنا شو نطلب منك؟ هو قال لك what are the endings of regular verbs اللي هم المجموعة الأولى regular اللي نهايتهم e، صح ولا؟
إيه.
ويصل فيك على نهايتهم e. هنا في الأمثلة هذه عندنا قديش واحدة نهايتها e؟ live بس، صح ولا؟
Yeah.
And how do we change live in the past؟ زي ما درناها في القصة. شو نديروا لها؟
live.
كيف نغيرها في الباست؟ شو نزيدوا لها؟ شوفها في القصة تلقاها تحت. And he شوف الماوس وين؟
Yeah. He lived.
Right. شنو الفرق بين live و lived؟ بين present وال past؟ شنو هو الحرف الوحيد اللي زدناه؟
D.
D. So this means if you have a regular verb that ends in E, أنا مش حنزيدوا E تانية صح ولا؟ نزيدوا D بس.
Yeah.
Do you get the idea?
Yeah.
All right. What about اللي هو consonant plus Y اللي فيهم حرف ساكن ومعاهم Y زي أما مثال فردويدي for regular verbs. Which one has a consonant and Y? Which one, Selma? Stay لكن ما فيهاش consonant ما فيش حرف ساكن قبل الواي. هنا في stay في vowel قبل الواي. حرف ال A مش consonant. حرف ال A vowel. نبو consonant نبوش vowel. شنت في كلمات ثانية ينتهوا ب Y؟
Study.
Correct. Study. We have consonant اللي هي D حرف ساكن D and we have Y صح ولا؟
Yeah.
معناها هي هذه الكلام عليها. فهذه كيف نحولوا فيها للpast؟ شوف القطعة.
Studied.
شنو غيرنا؟ What do we do?
We add I and
قبل ما نضيفوا الI شنو درنا؟ شنو تغير في السبيلنج؟ شوف الفرق بيناتهم. لو مثلا يكتبون فوق بعض we have study. Correct. So we remove or we delete the Y and what do we do?
We add I.
Only I?
And ED.
Yes. We add I-E-D, right? 3 letters,
yeah.
I-E-D. Okay. So this is the question. So number 2, very quickly. If you have a verb that ends with E, regular verb, we put D. Only D, okay? If we have a regular verb that ends with consonant plus Y, we remove the Y, we delete the Y, and we put I-E-D. Okay, this is clear?
Yeah.
All right, okay, let's see someone else. Najat, would you like to do number 3?
Okay. Is the past simple the same for all subjects? Are you, he, they, etc.? Yeah, the same.
Correct. The same. Okay, so in this question يبغوا يعرفوا هل ال past simple يتغير زي ال present simple؟ لأن في present simple اتفقنا يصير في تغيير صح؟ نقولوا مثلا I play, you play, we play, they play. لكن لو قلنا هي ولا شيء ولا it كيف حتتحول؟ plays. نقولوا he plays, she plays, it plays. صح ولا؟ هذا في ال present. لكن ترسل فينا في ال past شنو القصة؟ هل يصير في تغيير؟ حسب كلام نجاة قال no, it's the same. So let's check. نتأكدوا in page 135 نشوفوا السمري. Let's check the summary موجز. And let's see if this is true or not true, okay? Let's see. All right, so here it is. So past, regular and irregular verbs, positive, okay? هذا اللي نتكلم عليه توا. No, this one. Okay, let's zoom a little more. Okay, so where's okay, Samiha, can you please read the first 2 tips? Are you there, Samiha?
Yes, doctor.
Yes, can you please read the first 2 tips?
Okay. We use the past simple to talk about the past. We know when
this the same for all subjects.
Okay, correct, Najat. Yes, the second tip, like you said, that's correct. But what about the first tip here, Samiha? What's the point in the first tip? شنو يبغوا يوصلوا لنا؟ What does it mean? We know when these things happened. So here the question of time, is it an important thing? Do we know when things happened, or we don't know? What do you think? Samiha, are you there?
Yes.
What did you understand from the first point?
We use the past simple to talk about the past.
Okay, this one is clear.
It's clear.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but the other one, we know when things happened. علاش هذه مشددين عليها هيك؟
I don't know.
What do you think?
No.
Try to guess. Kilani, what do you think?
Yes, the time is important.
Yes. يعني هي الفكرة كلها بيوصل لك أن في past simple ديما الوقت معروف في الحدث. معروف أمتى، لأن في طرق ثانية للتكلم عن ال past like present perfect when you say I've been to Italy. هنا مش مهم الوقت أمتى مشيت، ما يهمش. مش معروف مرات مش بيش تقول أنت. You get the idea. But in the past simple لو قلت I went to Italy last year, last week, in 1999, when I was 5. ديما في details هذا اللي هو قصة التايم عادة مرتبطة بالpast simple. الpast simple هنا يعتبر one time event. زي في قصة مانديلا لو لاحظت، لو ركزتوا كل شيء كتب لك أمتى صار، صح ولا؟ He got divorced كذا كذا. He studied أمتى كذا كذا. You get the idea. فالpast simple من شروطها or one of the rules or how we make it is we usually say when. So saying when is usually important, okay? And the second tip is, this is what Najat said. It's the same. So you say, I played tennis yesterday, you played tennis yesterday, he, she, it, they, right? No change. So this means maybe the past simple is a little easier than the present simple, right? So there's no change in the present, in the past simple. Okay, so these are the spelling rules. So live, we only add D. Hate, we only add D. But with marry and study, we add IED, and I can't name Y. So we remove the Y and put IED. With E, we only put D. بالنسبة لأغلب الأفعال الثانية الغالبية العظمى, we put ED. Of course, these are, I'm talking about regular now, okay? All of this is regular. And for regular verbs which add with consonant, vowel, consonant. Okay? اللي هي مثلا زي stop. شن معناها consonant, vowel, consonant؟ اللي هي يدوا على TOP الأخيرة. TOP في stop تعتبر T، نكتبها مثلا stop في present. Right? So the T is consonant, O is a vowel, and P is a consonant. So we want to change this verb into the past. If you want to change it, you have to double the last consonant. Yeah, so stop, stopped. And we just, of course, all of this is spelling, right? These are spelling rules to how to change the regular verb. And the last tip, this is what Kilani said. When I asked him, what about irregular verbs? He said there's no rule. Every verb is different. And this is correct, okay? So with irregular verbs, there's no rule. Become, became. Play, sorry, not play. Write, wrote. Read, read. مفيش قاعدة معينة للirregular verbs. Okay? هذه تعتبر introduction مقدمة لموضوع past simple, regular, and irregular verbs. Okay, let's do some exercises. Let's go back. Oops. And let's check. Okay, so we finished exercise 4. 4. Yes, we finished 4. طبعا في آخر الكتاب حتى أنتم بعدين تقدروا تشوفوه اللي هو let me show you here حتى يعتبر الموضوع مهم كويس. اللي هو page 159 اللي هو في الcover. خلينا نرفعكم هذه. Let's go to the cover and then come back very quickly. Okay, do you see this list? Can you see the list? Yes. So you have this list in your books. So you can check it even after the lesson. You can check how we change the verb. طبعا هني كل شو ميزتهم هذول كلهم irregular. Okay? معناها ما فيش منهم اللي هم ال ED ولا ال IED ولا no. All of these are irregular. كلهم irregular. Okay? So you don't have to memorize them. مش مطالبين تسموهم صمان يعني. لكن في اللي هم الcommon هي دي القصة كلها. اللي شائعات ماذا بيك تضبطهم. زي verb to be اللي هي is, am, are في الباست خذينا was, were صح ولا في الدرس اللي فات. هذا في past simple بتاع verb to be. Become, became حتى هي تعتبر شائعة. Begin, began يعني مش هلبة. Break, broke مش هلبة. Buy, bought ممكن can تعتبر مهمة. Can, could هي صار في هلبة. What else? And do, did, drink, drank, drive, drove. يعني حسب اللي هم common اللي فيهم استعمال في حياتك اليومية أو تعرف راح تستعملهم بشكل كبير. الأفضل طبعا you need to memorize them. You need to know how to change them. And there's another tip في طريقة ثانية تساعدكم اللي هي أنكم تضموهم كل جروب اللي هو حسب النطق بتاعه. مثلا زي هني مدايرهم لكم. Bring, brought, buy, bought, catch, caught. fight, fought. مش مكتوب fight. اوكي فهذول كلهم الجروب هذا كلهم صوتهم ought فهذول تحفظهم على جنب. بعدين عندهم الجروب اللي هو الاو مثلا break, broke, ride, rode, drive, drove, write, wrote. هذول كلهم او صوتهم. دي قد idea. فانت رتبهم حطهم مع بعضهم في مجموعات على حسب الصوت بتاعهم. مثلا في اللي هم ما يتغيروش cut, 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 put, put, put. في واحدة ثانية cut, 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 put, put, put. في واحدة ثانية حتى هي ما تتغير. Anyways, do you get the idea? So this is important. Try to check it at home.
read حتى هي ممكن ما تتغيرش.
لا read النطق بتاعها يتغير. read, read.
لكن الكتيبة نفسها
لكن يهم النطق. أنت لما بتحكيها بتقول مثلا I read a nice book. لو قلت I read معناها أنت غلطت. فهني النطق بتاعها read. read, read. رغم أن السبيلنج زي ما أنت قلت صح زي بعض. أوكي؟ وفي لي مثلا sit, sat هذه. في اللي هي زي become, became. دي غريبة شوية. في الباست طبعا شو تو past participle الموضوع طويل شوية. خلينا في past simple. Okay. All right. So this is the list. Check the list at home. عود روحك عليهم if you want. It will help you, of course, in the future. So let's go back نديروا بعض التمارين. Let's do a few exercises. Okay. So let's do exercise number 5. عندما فهمنا الفكرة, let's do number 5. All right, so listen and practice the regular past simple forms which end in the sound id. Okay, بعدين listen and practice the irregular verb forms. Okay, هنشوف الموضوع listening قبل الgrammar. Okay, so here because the sound is sometimes different. في بعض منهم اللي فيهم صوت id في الأخير. So we want to look which verbs have this sound. And the sound is it. Okay? So we want to see which verbs have the sound it. All right? So let me play the listening. And let's find out. Let's do the listening.
Study, studied. Finish, finished. Live, lived. Work, worked. Want, wanted. Stay, stayed. Marry, married.
Okay, let's do that again.
In 1964, he went.
Okay, let me change this. All right, let me explain the exercise. نشرح لكم فكرة الexercise هلا.
A book about his life called Long Walk to Freedom.
Recording 6.6.
Okay, let me explain the exercise again. طبعا اللي حيقروهم اللي هم في الصندوق هذا اللي هم regular verbs, okay? They are going to read the regular verbs. He's going to read the regular verbs. So we want to listen which verbs لما تغيرهم للpast يبدأ فيهم صوت it. يعني مثلا finish, finished. هل هذه فيها صوت it ولا فيها finished؟
Yes.
Yes.
Worked. فيها ولا ما فيهاش؟
فيه.
شنو رايكم؟ هل تسمعوا في it ولا تسمعوا في
It.
finished.
مش spelling راء، حكاية قصة
إيه.
صوت.
Listen. It.
هل id ولا صوت t؟ هل نقولوا finished ولا نقولوا finished؟
finish.
Finished. T.
t.
Finished. T.
worked. صح ولا؟
Mhm.
معناها هذه مش منهم، من تو نقدر نحوهم. دي قالت لي idea. هذا ما فيهمش صوت ال id. So finished, worked مش منهم. باهي نجولي مثلا study ومثلا live كيف يصير فيهم؟ هل نقولوا study id ولا نقولوا studied؟
Studied.
قصدي هل فيها وقفة id ولا مع بعضها studied؟
Studied. مع بعض.
باهي live هل نقول live id ولا نقولوا lived؟
lived.
تمام. باهي stay هل نقولوا stay id ولا نقولوا stayed؟
Stayed.
State.
marry هل نقولوا marry id ولا married؟
Married.
معناها حتى هذول مستثنون صح ولا؟ لأن مع بعض هذه ما فيهاش الوقفة. دي قد idea.
Yes.
باهي هما الزوز شو قصتهم؟ Who can read them؟ بس في واحدة
wanted.
أيوة
started.
صح؟ لا هالفينش تكون فيها صوت كتير. Okay, again, can you say them again كيلاني؟
started. wanted.
لاحظتوا هنا في started, wanted فيهم الإد. دي قد idea. فهمتوا فكرة فهو مجرد يبيكم تنتبهوا وين اللي فيهم صوت الإد بروحها وين الثانيات اللي ما فيهمش. اوكي اللي هي تبدا الاي دي بتاعهم طرف بروحها. هي هذه الفكره كلها. اوكي so listen again. شوفوا كيف حيقراهم. ركزوا في طريقه القراءه وحتلاحظوا ما فيش الا start والwant لما تتغير للباست حيطلع فيها صوت الإد اللي هو يتكلم عنه. اوكي let's listen.
Start, started. Study, studied. Finish, finished.
اوكي شكلها حتى study غلطنا فيها. study فيها نفس الصوت صح ولا؟ study studied نفس الصوت. so it's the same sound. اوكي معناها عندنا start و study اللي حتى
Live, lived. Work, worked. Want, wanted. Stay, stayed. Marry, married.
married. حتى married نفس الشيء.
Yeah.
started, married. كلها نديرهم.
حسيته كلها زي بعض، أنا خاطي فنشت يعني هيك واضحة.
Yeah. لا هما في اللي واضحات فيهم التاء، هي اللي finished worked هدو فيهم التاء، وفي اللي مع بعض ما فيهاش مفصولة، يعني زي stayed الدي جاية مع الاي أكثر منها id، فهي قصة. هما يبوك تركزوا على الصوت القصير هذا، يعني مجرد listening practice لا أكثر. Okay. So now let's listen and practice the regular forms. Okay, so هيقروا الجروب الثاني. So you can listen and repeat if you want, that's good. تاخذوا شوية على تعليماتكم اللي هم جروب الirregular، هيقراهم في الpresent، هيقراهم لما يتغيروا. Okay, so let's listen to the pronunciation and listen and repeat too.
Okay.
Recording 6.7.
Become. Became.
Okay. Became.
Became.
Have.
Come. Became.
Had.
Have. Had.
Have had.
Have had.
Get. Got.
Get. Got.
Get. Got.
Get. Got.
Met.
meet met
صح.
Meet. Met.
Met.
Go. Went.
Go. Went.
Go. Went.
Go and
Forget. Forgot.
Forget.
Forget. Forgot.
Leave. Left.
leave.
Leave. Left.
Leave. Left.
Wrote.
right wrote
Right. Wrote.
Right. Wrote.
Correct. Right, wrote, yes. Okay, so this is just the pronunciation. Here, number 5. التركيز كلها على نطق بطريقة صحيحة. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. And let's complete this exercise, or these 5 sentences. And we want to use the past form of these verbs, okay? So we want to use the past simple of these verbs. Okay, so number 1, when Nelson Mandela was a child, he lived in a village called Fezo. Okay, number 2, who would like to do number 2? Where is Najat?
he went
Okay, Kilani, yes. Number 2?
he went or he became
Finish the sentence.
he became law at with what Western University.
Are you sure?
He became.
Okay. Samiha, would you like to do number 2?
Number 2. He studied law at.
Is it study or studied?
Studied.
Present or past?
Past.
Can you say it again?
He studied law.
Okay, he studied. لازم الدي تكون شوية واضحة في الأخير. Okay, so he's all right. So he studied law. What's law, Kilani? What does it mean when we say studied law?
Law.
Yes.
قانون.
قانون ولا?
Correct. Yeah? Do you get the idea? This is what he studied in university. Right?
Yes.
So law is a major. تخصص. You can study like engineering, medicine, anything, right? Languages, linguistics. Okay.
Yes.
Economics. All right. So he studied law at Witwatersrand University. This is just a name. He Samiha.
Was.
He
Okay.
was the first black
He was
student.
the first.
All right. Let's write was. So was is the past of verb to be, right? Okay. So let's cross the ones we used. So we used verb to be. We used study. All right, Rashid, can you do number 3?
Evelyn and Nelson got their first child, Timby, in 1945.
Okay, what do we use for children? The verb. Which verb do we use for children? Rashid, what do you think? Can you think of another verb? Not got. Think of another verb.
Had.
Right. So for children, we say have children, right? And in the
Yes.
past, we say
Had.
correct. Okay, so let's cross have, and let's write it here in the past. So they have. Okay. Number 4, Selma, can you do number 4?
Nelson becomes South Africa in 1962, and
Are you sure?
and when I became
Which one is became? Number 4 became?
Yeah.
What does became mean? بالعربي شو معناها became؟
أحضر maybe
شو معناها؟
أحضر حاجة هيك
أحضر.
عاد إلى
أوقات
لا become و became معناها أصبح.
يصبح.
yeah
كيف يقدر يصبح South African؟ صح ولا؟ تجيش معناها number 4.
Yeah.
Okay, use another verb.
when maybe went
هو مولود في South Africa.
ليه yeah no left maybe
Correct. So leave, left. صح ولا؟
yeah
So يعني طلع من
Left.
South Africa, right?
yeah right
So he left South
Nelson left
Africa.
South Africa in 1962 and went to live in
Algeria.
Algeria
What is Algeria?
country maybe
It's a country, صح؟ اللي هي الجزائر.
yeah
Okay, let's see someone else. Okay, Kilani. You can do number 5.
He became president of the ANC in 1991, and he won
Mm-hmm.
the Nobel Prize in 1993.
Right. Okay. Very nice. Okay. Let's see someone else. Okay. Samiha, can you read all of them, please? Can you start from number 1 to 5?
Okay. When Nelson Mandela was a child, he lived in a village called Maviza. He studied law at it's very difficult to
Yeah, Witwatersrand.
Witwatersrand University. He was the first black student there. Evelyn and Nelson had their first child, Thempe, in 1945. Nelson left South Africa in 1962 and went to live in Algeria. He became president of the ANC in 1991, and he won the Nobel Prize in 1993.
Okay, so here we have more information about Nelson Mandela's life, right? So more details here, more information. Okay, so let's do the next part here, exercise 7, but let's move a little bit, let's see. All right, let's go here. And number 7, working groups do the quiz. Okay, so we have a little quiz here. Not a grammar quiz, like a guessing quiz, okay? So, where's Nijat? Are you there? Okay, so Rashid, can you read number 1, please, Rashid?
Where did Albert Einstein come from? Germany.
Okay, so Switzerland and Austria, no? You think Germany?
Yes.
All right. And okay, and I think not me. Where's Selma? Selma, can you read the next one, number 2?
Okay. When did the Wright brother fly the first plane? Okay. 1903.
1903. Okay, maybe. All right, Kilani, number 3.
Where did Mother Teresa live from most of her life?
Yeah, where did she live?
I don't know.
You can guess.
India.
Maybe India?
Yeah.
This is what Selma thinks. All right. Samiha, you can do number 4.
Number 5.
4.
When did George Washington become the first president of the USA? B. 1839.
You think Kilani thinks A, Samiha thinks B. Let's put them both in check. All right, Rashid, the last one. What do you think? Rashid? Are you there?
When did the Italian explorer Marco Polo first go to China? When he was 37.
Okay, you think 37?
Yes.
Okay, let's check the answers, okay?
No, A.
You think 17, Salma?
Yeah.
Okay, let's write 17. Okay, let's check. Let's see which one is correct. So page 158. It's good, 158. Okay. So here are the answers. So number 1, Albert Einstein is from Germany. Number 2, the Wright brothers flew the first plane on December 17th, 1903. So also correct. Mother Teresa, where did she live most of her life?
India.
In India. Yeah, she lived in Calcutta. from 1931 until she died. So India, of course.
من هي؟
Mother Teresa. She is a famous nun. Do you know the meaning of nun?
Yes.
Okay, so a nun is like a religious Christian woman. Okay? Nun.
Yes. مسيحية.
Yes, راهبة مسيحية.
Uh,
All right, so number 4, George Washington became the first president in 1789.
Yeah, Russia, correct.
So yeah, Kilani, I think Abdurrahman was correct here.
Or
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 5, Marco Polo went to China when he was
17.
So Selma is right. When did he first go to China? It says in 1271. So this is a very, 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 very long time ago, right?
Yeah.
Very long time ago. All right, so these are just guesses of some important people in history. All right, so we can go to our next question. So how many did you get right? I think we got all of them right, which is good. Okay, so now let's do a little bit of WH questions. So here we have past simple WH question. Look at the table, notice the word order in the questions. All right, so I think maybe we have to zoom out a little bit. And questions 2 and 3, I think we have to zoom out. All right, so now it's okay. So here it says, look at the table, notice the word order in question. So here, these are WH questions and the past simple. All right. Let me just check the message. Okay, I think Najat has a problem. The internet. All right. Okay. Anyways, let's continue. So we start with the question word, right? And then we use the auxiliary did, because in the past simple, we always use the auxiliary did. We use the subject, he, she, it, or we can write a name. And then we use, of course, the infinitive, okay? Is it clear? Can you see the word order? This is how we make a WH question using past simple. Okay, so they want us to copy. It says, write questions 2 and 3 from here, from the previous question. Let's put them in the table. All right, so Samiha, how can we write question 2?
When?
Okay, so the auxiliary word is when.
Auxiliary word is when.
Sorry, I mean the question word.
Question word.
Yeah. What's the auxiliary?
Did.
Right. The subject.
The Wright brothers.
The Wright brothers. The capital. Right.
Fly.
Brothers, and the infinitive is fly, right? Okay, that's correct. Okay, Selma, can you do the second question? So question 3, how do we organize it? How do we put it in the right order, the correct order?
Question word is where.
Where? So we start with where, then?
And did.
Did is the auxiliary. Okay. What's the subject?
Mother Teresa.
Right, the subject is Mother Teresa. Mother.
Live.
And live is the infinitive, right?
Yeah.
So Mother Teresa, and the infinitive is live. All right. Okay. So let's check if there are any other tips in the summary. in page 135. Let's quickly check if there's any extra information. Let's see. So in WH questions, okay, nothing here. So our answer. Okay, this is also interesting. Kinani, can you please read the last tip here? Let me read here the last tip. Can you read it, please?
Notice the difference between present simple question and the past simple question. Where do you live? Present simple. Where did you live? Past simple.
Okay, very good. So here the idea is that the auxiliary verb we use with present simple, we always use do, right? In the present simple. But in the past simple, the auxiliary verb is did. So the only difference between these two questions is do and did. Because live, it's the same. Infinitive, infinitive. Right? Where do you live? Where do you play? Where did you live? Where did you play? You get the idea. يعني الحاجة الوحيدة اللي مفرقة بيناتهم هو الauxiliary لأن الفعل الverb هيقعد لك infinitive. Right? In questions العادة الفعل هيكون infinitive. Alright? You get the idea. Rashid?
Yes.
Okay, so مهمة جدا قصة did هي اللي حتميز لك past simple من present simple. هذول did. Alright, so I think we can go back and do more exercise. Let's finish. Alright, so in exercise 9. Okay, let's make questions with these words. So we have a group of questions. Let's make a group of words, sorry, let's make questions. So number 1, we have last night did what do. All right, so all of these questions, كلهم WH questions. All of them are WH questions. Okay, so Rashid, you can do number 2.
Where did you meet your best friend?
Right, very nice. Where did you meet your best friend? Good. Okay. Samiha, what about number 3?
Where did your parents meet?
Met or meet?
Meet.
Yes. Where did
your parents meet?
Correct. Okay, Selma, can you do number 4?
Okay. When did you first go another country?
Can you say it again?
When did you first go another country?
Another? Or do we have to say something before it? حاجة تستاهل. When did you first go? بعدها؟
Another country.
لا، في حاجة نسيتها. في قبل another.
To another country.
Yes. Very important. All right. Okay, Kilani, the last one. Can you do the last one, please?
What did you do last weekend?
Nice. What did you do last weekend? Okay, let's check this in listening. Let's see if these answers are correct. And also, let's check the pronunciation. So we can listen and then maybe you can listen again. All right, let's do it.
Recording 6.8. 1.
What did you do last night?
2.
Where did you meet your best friend?
3.
Where did your parents meet?
4.
When did you first go to another country?
5.
What did you do last weekend?
Okay, so let's listen. So all of them are correct. That's very good. Let's listen one more time, but this time I'd like you to listen and also repeat. So let's go back a little bit.
Two.
Okay, Lola Fat نبدأ من 2, okay? So listen and repeat, please, okay?
Where did you meet your best friend?
Where did you
Where
meet
did
your
you
best
meet
friend?
your best friend?
Where did you meet your best friend?
3.
Where did your parents meet?
Where did your parents meet?
What did your parents?
Where did your parents meet?
4.
When did you first go to another country?
Where did you first
Where
go
did
to?
you
When did you
first go to another country?
5.
What did you do last weekend?
What did
What did you do
What did you
last weekend?
do last night?
You do last week. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, let's ask each other these questions, okay? So let's have like a conversation. So Kilani can start. Okay, so Kilani, I'd like you to ask all these questions to Rashid, right? And he's going to tell you.
What did you do last night?
I didn't do anything.
Okay.
Where did you meet your best friend?
I did meet my best friend in the school.
Okay, just a second. All right. Okay. Again, Rashid, لكن طالما في إجابتك بتجاوب شو حد
ناحية did.
صح. شو ثاني؟
Change the verb to the past.
And yes, and you have to change the verb to بتردها للماضي، صح ولا؟
I met.
يعني meet بتردها أنت بتخليها في الماضي، يعني أنت حترجع على الماضي. صح ولا راشد؟
تمام.
معناها الميت شنو هي الباست بتاعها؟ شنو الماضي بتاعها ميت؟ اللي اخذناها بكي بالجدول.
meted.
لا مش regular هي لا. meet تصبح met. صح ولا؟ تتذكر فيها في الجروب الثاني met مش في الريجولر لأن هي irregular. met صح ولا؟
Yes.
Okay. So Kilani, can you please ask one more time, number 2?
Where did you meet your best friend?
I met my best friend in the school.
Okay, good. At school. I met my best friend at school. Very nice. Good.
يعني مش ضروري تذكر الوقت ولا؟
لا مش ضروري عادي. At school بنعرف لما كان هو طالب يعني أكيد. وتاني حاجة هنا where مركزين في المكان أكثر هنا.
Yes. Where did your parents meet?
I don't know.
When did you first go to another country?
I don't remember.
Okay.
What did you do last week?
I didn't do anything.
اوكي لكن المره هذه تبي تجرب خيالك شويه تخلي روحك كانك درت حاجه.
ما مش عارف من شهور ما درت شيء.
I slept.
مثلا صح. I slept a lot. رقدت هلبة. صح ولا؟ ولا مثلا I watched TV. وما فيش كهرباء عليك نقول به. Okay. So do you get the idea?
Yes.
All right. طبعا عندنا اللي هو سؤال number 4. We have two ways of answering it. Number 4. You can answer it by saying the year. When did you first go to another country? I went to another country in 2002. In 2003, right? You can give the year. Or you can talk about how old you were. You can say, I went to another country. I first went to another country when I was 5, when I was 6, you get the idea. So you have two different ways of answering this. All right, so now, Samiha, you can ask Selma these questions. And let's see Selma's answers.
Okay. What did you do last night?
I do my homework.
Again?
I do.
In the past?
I did my homework.
Very good. I did my homework. Good. Did. Mm-hmm.
Where did you meet your best friend?
I met my best friend in school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where did your parents meet?
They are cousins.
Okay.
When did you first go to another country?
I went to.
Okay, can you talk closer to the mic, please, Salma?
Okay.
I went بداية صح. Okay, I went
to Turkey.
لكن هي قلت لك when. قلت لك which country. like when.
When متى؟
أيوة.
In 2019.
Okay. In 2019. Correct?
Yeah.
I went to another country in 2019.
Yeah.
وتقدر حتى تسمع country عادي تقدر تقولي I went to Turkey in 2019. واضح انك انت تجاوبي على اول بلاد اللي حسب السؤال. Good.
Yeah.
What did you do last weekend?
I go to shopping.
The past?
I went to shopping.
Okay. And shopping, do we say to ولا من غير to?
To shopping.
Without to.
Without to. صح ولا؟
Yeah.
How do you say it?
I went shopping.
Correct. I went shopping.
Yeah.
لأن الشوبينج ياخذوا فيه كأنه activity. العادة نستعمله go shopping. فلما بتحوليه past يصبح went shopping.
I went. Yeah.
Go shopping, went shopping. لو بتتكلمي على المحل نفسه بنقولوا I went to a shop. لكن هذه ما نستعملش فيها في الإنجليزي بنستعمل shopping أكثر. نستعمل فيه كنشاط.
Yeah.
I went shopping. Very nice, very nice. Okay, now let's do the opposite. I think this is enough for this one. السؤال هذا أعتقد وضح قصته. Okay, so اللي تلاحظوا فيه هنا في WH question شو صار؟ أن في السؤال الفعل محطوط ديما في الانفينيتيف. فممكن هذا يلخبط شوية لما بتجاوب على طول.
To the past.
لازم بترجع. Yes, you have to put it back to the past. Meet بتولي met. Do بتولي did. Right? Where did your parents met? Meet, met. When did you go? First go. I first went. Go بتقول لي when. What did you do? شيء do بتقول لي did. I did nothing. وإلا بتحط شرط طب تعود نفس الverb هنا. تقدر تحط الverb تاني. I played PlayStation. I played football. I met my friends. I went shopping. I listened to music. I watched a movie. I finished a book. I learned how to cook. أي شيء. All right. So this is how we talk about WH questions in the past simple. Okay. So let's check the next point. In our next lesson here. All right. So here we are going to talk a little bit about showing interest and continuing a conversation. Okay. So here we are going to learn how to show interest and continue a conversation. What does this mean? Showing interest and continuing a conversation. What do they mean?
You show you are very like the conversation.
بالضبط. Exactly, Rashid. صح. You show that you like the conversation. حتى لو الconversation ممل. مثلا جت خالتك الكبيرة شوية في السن ولا حاجة هيك وتبدأ تجيب في موضوع أنت ما فكرتش تسمع. You have to show you're interested. في حاجات معينة تقولها. There are some things you say to keep the conversation moving, right? Because if someone is telling you something and you just sit like this, of course this is not good. So you have to use words like really, how, wow, you know, these kind of things. So we are going to learn how to say things that make the conversation interesting and it allows you to continue the conversation, okay? So it doesn't stop. It makes it go. You get the idea?
Yes.
So this is the focus here. And of course, we will talk a little bit about weekend activities. Of course, we'll talk a little bit about the past, and we will see how we show interest. So of course, you can show interest in two ways, by using some words and of course your intonation. So you should say, really. You shouldn't say, really. You see the difference? You have to use a high intonation, high note, to sound friendly, to sound interested. Okay, so let's start. Let's talk about, here we have two emails. No, it's not an email, it's a postcard, I think. Okay, let's check. So here it says, look at the picture. Who do you think had a great weekend? Who had a quiet weekend? Who had a busy weekend? And who had a terrible weekend? So I think we have to look at the photos. I mean the pictures. So this is Mick. This is Sarah. Let's go to the other two people. We have two other people. We have Henry. And we have Jane. Okay, so we have four people. Okay, who do you think, let's do the matching. Who do you think had a great weekend?
Sarah.
Sarah.
Sarah, let's look at the other one. What's her name? Jane, maybe not so good, not very happy. Maybe Sarah is right. I think Sarah is correct. So maybe Sarah had a good weekend or a very good weekend. A great weekend. Who do you think had a quiet weekend?
Jane.
Let's
Quiet.
check Jane. Who had a quiet weekend?
Jane.
I think.
Jane, maybe Jane. Maybe Jane had a quiet weekend. Who do you think had a busy weekend?
Mike.
Do you think Mick, or do you think Henry?
Henry.
Who had a busy?
Henry.
You want Henry or Mick?
Busy. Mick.
Why? Why do you think Mick had a busy?
Yeah, I think he looks tired and have dark circle. I think that.
Yeah.
I think that he's
What,
tired.
he looks tired, but what does he have in his hand?
Report.
Sales report.
What's this?
I don't know.
Sales report. What is sales report?
Sales report.
Mm-hmm. What does it mean? What does sales mean? To sell sales.
Yes.
What does it mean, sales? When you sell something, of course, you have sales, right?
A degree.
It means how much things, how much money.
Right, something for buy a cheaper. Buying something cheaper than the.
Not exactly. هنا طبعا يا جماعة الاقتصاد والتسويق كان هذا أكثر. Sales report, it means how much money you made in 2 months or 3 months, right? So it shows that. Sorry?
أو حاجة هيك.
جرد صح. نوع من الجرد يعني. تقرير عن المبيعات، تقرير مبيعات. So sales هنا مستعملينها كمبيعات، الأشياء اللي بعتها أو باعتها الشركة أو باعتها الحكومة. ممكن لو أنت تكون تخدم في حاجة حكومية، right? Sales report. So do you think is it related to work or not related to work?
Related to work.
I agree. I think it's related to work. So maybe we can say that Mick had a busy weekend because I think he still has work. He hasn't finished his work, right? Okay. And who had a terrible weekend?
Henry.
Henry. What does it mean, terrible?
Because he's sick.
He's sick, yes. He's ill. And terrible, what does it mean, terrible? Is it a good thing?
Bad.
Terrible? Yes, very bad. Because he looks, do you see? He has a red nose, and this means he has coronavirus. So he had a very bad weekend. Terrible weekend. All right, okay. So this is Henry. He had a terrible weekend. All right, so now let's read the text. So we have 4 texts, A, B, C, D. Let's read A, B, C, D, and then we can confirm, we can check if our answers in part A, if our answers are correct or not. We can check from the text, okay? Let's do this. Let's go to text A. All right, so text A, where's some? Salma, can you read text A, please?
Okay. There.
Gianluca. It's a name, Gianluca. Italian name.
Gianluca and Valeria, and it was so good to see you again. We really needed to go away for the weekend, and we had one wonderful time with you in room.
Okay.
Thanks again, Lusa.
All right. Who wrote this? Who do you think wrote this?
Sarah.
Yes, because her name is in the end, right? Usually in letters, you should leave your name at the end, right?
Yeah.
Rashid?
Yes.
Yeah. Where do you leave your name in a letter? In the beginning? Do you put your name in the beginning, or do you put your name in the end in letters?
Letter in the end.
In the end.
Yes. Because in the beginning, you will write the name of the person you are talking to, or the person you are writing to. صح ولا؟
Yes.
So for example, if I want to write a letter to Rashid, I will say, Dear Rashid, blah, 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 blah. Thanks again, love Suhail, right? يبقى حنبدأ باسم اللي بنبعته. Okay, so what do you think of this letter? Is it a happy letter? Did she have a good weekend?
Great.
Sarah? She had a great weekend. How do you know, Kilani, that she had a great weekend?
Because we had a wonderful time.
Very good, exactly. Because she said, we had a wonderful time. Wonderful time means very good time. We had a great time. It was fun. It was very nice, right? And do you see what she said here? So good to see you, right?
Happy.
So she was very happy. So this means our answer was correct. So Sarah had a great weekend. So Sarah had a great weekend. Okay, so Kilani, can you read the mix list, please? Here, B.
Mix things to do. Take children swimming, clean the car, do the shopping, drive Sonia to party, write a report.
Okay, does this look fun?
No.
No.
No, it doesn't look fun.
Very
No.
nice.
Yeah, do you think Mick is busy or free at the weekend?
Busy.
Busy.
Very busy.
Yeah, I think he's very busy. He has lots of things to do, so it's correct. So our answer is correct. Mick is busy, right? Good. Okay, let's check letter, text C and D. Let's check. Okay, so this is text C, so it's an email. All right, so Samiha, can you read the email, please?
Hi, Tom. Just a note to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry I wasn't at the party. I was ill all weekend. I think it was because I worked every evening last week. I'll phone you, Henry.
Okay, does this look like a good weekend or a terrible weekend?
Terrible, of course.
Yeah, of course, I agree. All right, let's see. What about where's Rashid? Rashid, can you read what what's her name? Jane. What Jane wrote?
Saturday, 16 September. Slept to Unity
until
11 a.m.
Slept until
11 a.m. on Saturday. Then did washing and watched TV. Sunday, 17 September. Went to the cinema with Annie. Bid at 10.
Okay. What do you think of her weekend? Was it busy? Was it fun? Was it normal and quiet? What do you think?
Normal.
Yeah, it was quiet, normal, nothing
Quiet.
big. She didn't do anything.
A lot of activity, no.
Yeah, simple activities, right? Watch TV, did the washing, go to the cinema, lots of sleep, right? So on Saturday, she woke up late. She got up at 11 a.m., which is late, of course. And the next day, she slept at 10. So lots of sleeping, right?
Yes.
Do you think it's a nice weekend? Like, which weekend is your favorite? Is the best? Do you think it's A, B, C, or D? For you, Samiha, what do you think?
D.
You prefer the quiet one?
Yes.
Why? Why do you prefer the quiet one, Samiha?
Because I need to sleep for a lot of time. I always busy and I always tired.
Okay. So maybe for you, D is the best weekend. I think you're right. Rashid, you said A, right?
Yes.
Why do you prefer this kind of weekend? What do you like about Sarah's weekend? Why is it nice?
Because I think Sarah traveling.
Yes, she traveled, correct? Where did she go?
Roma.
That's correct. She went to Rome, to Italy, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's a good weekend because she traveled, right? She went to Rome.
Yes.
All right, I agree. This looks like a very nice weekend. Who agrees with Rashid? Who thinks Sarah's weekend? Okay, so Kilani, you think this is a great weekend?
Yes.
What about you, Selma? Do you think Sarah's weekend is fun? That she traveled to Rome and she met friends there? Or do you prefer D, Selma? Which weekend do you prefer? Which is better? Weekend A or weekend D? And this is weekend D. The quiet weekend with Jane. The quiet weekend Jane had. Do you think this is better? To watch TV and go to the cinema and sleep a lot? Or do you prefer traveling, meeting friends in Italy and having a great time? What's better?
D.
You prefer D?
Yeah.
You want to sleep?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here we I think our answers are correct. So we finished number 1A and B. Okay. So now we have a little bit of listening. But before we do the listening, we have a few exercises first. Okay, so look at phrases 1 to 8, then fill the gaps with these words. Okay. So let's read the words, or let's read the phrases. Excuse me. So we have the house, tired, a bad cold, an email, for a couple of days, shopping until 11 a.m. All right. So let's use these phrases to complete the gaps. So you can say I work, or he works, or they work. So work every evening and work all day. Clean the car and clean
the house.
Okay. Do you agree? Do you think that's correct?
No.
No? What do you think? It's not correct?
Until 11 a.m.
Until 11 a.m.
Clean until 11 a.m.?
Yes, I think.
Okay, let's leave this. Let's do the other ones. So we say write a report and write
an email.
Do you agree? Do you think that's correct? Okay, I think everybody agrees. Write an email. Can you say clean an email? We can. Okay. What about number 4?
The shopping.
Do the dishing, do the washing, and do
the house.
The shopping.
Do the house, do the shopping.
Do the shopping.
The house.
Do the house. The question is, we want to.
I think we should to complete the sentence. I think.
No, here the idea it's not a complete the sentence. The idea is which verb goes with which activity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can say work every day, every evening, correct. And you can say work all day, correct. You can say clean the car. You can say clean something
Clean the
else.
car and the.
Okay, do you get the idea?
Yes.
So each verb has 2 activities or 2 phrases.
Do the shopping.
Yeah.
So we say do the washing and do
the shopping. The shopping.
The shopping, maybe. Okay. Do the washing, do the shopping. We say go away for the weekend and go away.
For
a
a
couple
couple
of
of days.
For a couple of days.
For a couple of days. For a couple of days. We say sleep for 8 hours and sleep
until 8
11
a.m.
a.m.
until
11 a.m.
until 11 until
a.m.
11 a.m. Until 11 a.m. All right. So we can say to be ill or to be
tired.
To be tired. We can say have a wonderful time or have
A bad cold.
A bad cold.
have a bad cold. All right, so now let's remove all the answers, the ones we used. So we used 11 a.m. We used email.
The
We
house.
used bad cold.
Number 2, clean the house.
Clean the house. Okay,
Yeah.
that's correct. So we say clean the car, clean the house. And now let's check if all of these are correct or not. Let's go to page 134 and let's confirm our answers. 134. Okay, can you see them here? Weekend activities. In the bottom, can you see it on the right bottom side? So we say work every evening, work all day. Clean the car, clean the house. Write a report, write an email. Do the shopping, do the washing. Go away for the weekend, go away for a couple of days. Sleep for 8 hours, sleep until 11 a.m. To be ill or to be tired, have a wonderful time, have a bad cold. So all of them are correct. Good. We can go back. All right. So now we can do part C. Here it says the present past forms can find the text. Okay, so do you see the phrases that we finished now? The ones that we did here? These 8, actually 16, because each one has 2. Okay, so these phrases, we want to look for them, exercise 2 here. We want to find them in the phrases, in the letters, okay? So if you find them, let's underline them. Let's put a line underneath. So let's start with Gianluca. Let's start with Sarah's letter.
Go away for the weekend.
Correct. This is number 1.
Go away.
Go away for the weekend. Is there another one?
No.
It is, I think.
No.
Are you sure? Let's go back under the phrases. Check the phrases again. نستعملنا go away for the weekend. الثاني.
Have a wonderful time if it's.
Check it.
Had a wonderful time.
That's correct. So we also have had a wonderful time, right?
Yes.
So this is another phrase we used in the letter. Had a wonderful time. All right, what about mixed list here?
Clean the car.
Clean the car, correct.
Do the shopping.
Do the shopping.
Do the shopping, correct.
Do the shopping.
To write a report.
Right. Okay, so these are the phrases in text
What's
A.
the meaning of phrases, Doctor?
Phrases, good question. So in English, we have words, we have phrases, we have sentences. All right. So let me show you the difference. So a word is just one word, like here. Mick, Sarah, weekend. So this is a word, one word. A phrase is a group of words which doesn't have a verb, or usually it doesn't have, sometimes it has a verb, but there's no subject. And no subject. For example, and usually it's more than one word, sometimes 2 or 3. Can you see this one? A busy weekend. A busy weekend, this is a phrase, it's not a sentence. Because a sentence is like this. Samiha studies English. This is a sentence, complete sentence. Because we have subject, verb, object.
Object.
So we have Samiha is the subject, the verb is study, English is the object. Okay?
Okay.
But when you say a busy weekend, we need more information. It's not a complete sentence, it doesn't have a meaning. You have to use it with something else. You have to add a verb and you have to add a subject. So you can say, I had, subject, had, verb, a busy weekend. Tamam, no problem like this. You get the idea? So a phrase اللي هي تعتبر عبارة ناقصة فعل أو ناقصة العادة اللي هو الفاعل. subject نفسها مش موجودة.
مجموعة كلمات تعطي معنى لكن بدون ما يكون فيها verb.
معناها ناقص، ما تعطيش معنى كامل. يعني مثلا يعني a busy weekend بروحها من اللي عنده busy weekend هو كيف أمتى أما weekend. You get the idea? It's not complete information. We don't know who had the busy weekend, right? Or why. So we have missing information. مثلا ذهني go away for the weekend. Who went away for the weekend? يعني مين نتكلم؟ لو نقول مثلا كيلاني went away for the weekend تمام. هيك ردت عنا sentence كامل. لكن حتى بالشكل هذا go away for the weekend ما تعتبرش sentence مازال يعني ما فيهاش subject. You get the idea? So phrase معناها زي عبارة يعني تعتبر مجموعة عبارة. You get the idea?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we found all the phrases and words في text A and B. هنشوف text C and D نطلع منهم. All right, let's look at C. Which phrases do we have here?
I was ill.
I was ill. Ill. Correct? B, past hit was. Correct. So I was ill. I was ill. There's another one. Did you find it?
Yes, I worked every evening.
Correct. I worked every evening. So لما تديرها هيك I worked every evening تو sentence أصبح زي ما مكتوب هنا كامل. I worked every evening. هذه full sentence. Okay. All right. What about text D? شو في من العبارات؟
Until 11 a.m.
Okay, so until 11 a.m. Slept until 11 a.m. and the verb was slept. So let's underline it. So slept until 11 a.m. What else? There's another one.
Then did the washing and watched TV.
Correct. Did the washing. إن هنا في phrases عندنا do the washing. In the past, did the washing. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this way we found all the phrases, all the words in the 4 texts. All right. So let's move on and think of 6 things you did use your own phrases. Okay. So we want to use these phrases to talk about our weekend. All right, so this is similar to the question اللي كان قبل هذا اللي قلناه مع بعضنا. شبيه نوعا ما اللي هو هذا إجابات بدلنا إجابات الأسئلة هذه. What did you do last weekend? حتى نقدر نفوتوا لأن نفس الأسئلة اللي كانت فوق. What did you do last weekend? I cleaned the house. I slept. Let's skip this. Let's do the listening. Okay. Because number 3 is too similar to the one we finished, so we can leave it. All right, let me tell you about number 4. It's being a good listener. Listen and match the conversations to the people in the picture. All right, so in question 4, they want us to write the names of the 4 people in the story. اللي هما Jane, Henry, and Mick and Sarah, okay? So we're going to hear 2 conversations, okay? So we want to know between who and who. Do you get the idea? So we only want to write the name of the people talking. Do you get the idea? Number 4. Is it clear?
Yes.
Rashid?
Yes.
Did you understand the question?
Yes.
All right. So what are we going to do here, Rashid?
We will listen.
And?
زوز بيتكلموا بنقولوا منهم الزوز.
Exactly, yes. So we have 2 conversations. We want to write the names of the 2 people talking together, okay? So let's start.
Recording 6.9. Conversation 1.
Hi. How was your weekend?
Oh, terrible. I was really ill on Saturday.
Oh dear. What was wrong?
I had a really bad cold.
Oh, what a shame. Are you okay now?
Yes, much better, thanks. And how was your weekend?
Oh, very quiet. I stayed at home.
All right. What did you do?
Not much. I slept a lot, did the washing and watched TV, you know, the usual. But I went to the cinema yesterday afternoon.
Oh, what did you see?
Night and Day.
Oh, yes. What was it like?
It was good. I really liked it.
I want to see that. It sounds good.
Conversation 2.
Henry و
Conversation 1 between Henry and
Jane.
Henry and
Jane.
Correct. Henry and Jane. سميحة ما سمعتي شيء؟
أنا سمعتها.
اوكي. قلت ما سمعتي شيء.
هنري and Jane. لا قلت لك الاسم البنت نسيناه.
Yeah. Jane, correct. All right, so let's listen to the second conversation. الإجابة واضحة لكن نشوفه.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks. I went away for the weekend. To Italy.
Wow, where did you go?
We went to Rome. It was wonderful.
Oh, great. Who did you go with?
My friend Ingrid.
And where did you stay?
We stayed with some old friends from university.
Oh, nice.
What about you? How was your weekend?
Oh, busy. I worked all weekend.
Really? What did you do?
I wrote the report you wanted. It took me 10 hours.
You're joking. Did you finish it?
Yes. Here it is.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, Mick.
Okay. So, Mick and Sarah. But why was Mick so busy?
I think he want to take Sarah from the airport.
No, because the sales report. Remember, we talked about the sales report. he said it took me 10 hours to write. Did you hear that? No problem. أصلا هذا حنعودوه مرة ثانية نحن نفسنا في الآخر. So خلينا نجاوب اللي هو جزئيتنا هذه بس. So conversation 2 is between who and who? مني
Mick and Sarah.
Right. صح. Between Mick and Sarah. So next time we're going to listen again to the story, and we want to finish this part, number 5. So we want to finish each part and the response, the رد الفهم. يعني لما هنري قال I was really ill on Saturday, فجين ردت عليه oh dear, right? So هنا اللي هو بيجوا لتركيز الحصة اللي هو كلها على قصة showing interest. شو معنى showing interest? What does it mean?
لفت انتباه ما
No, it's like showing care. Do you understand? Do you get the idea?
I understand the idea, but showing interest is
Okay, so the idea هنا اللي هو زي كأنه حد يقول لك مثلا خبر زي واحد قال لك أنا مريض، شو بتقول له هنا في الفيديو؟ الرد الطبيعي.
لا بس.
إن شاء الله لا بس.
بسيطة وهيك.
كفارة. Right? We say these things, right? This is showing interest. إنك أنت مهتم باللي يكلم فيك. ترد عليه بطريقة مهتم بالحديث، مهتم حتى بالشخص اللي يكلم فيك، اللي شكالك أو اللي قال لك عليه. Do you get the idea? Yes. So هو هذا كل القصة هنا نبغى نوروا كيف نديرها، كيف نردوا. ومقسمينه بعدين لأقسام. لما شخص يقول لك حاجة مثلا محزنة، فبتقول لها مثلا بتوري انك انت مستاء او متعاطف ذهني. Oh dear. الشخص هذا متعاطف. Right? You get the idea?
Yes.
او مثلا really مثلا شخص قلت له حاجة كبيرة مثلا يعني كملت تخرجت. I graduated. Really? This is good news. You get the idea?
Yes.
Alright, so we'll do this. رد الفعل يعني. يعني رد الفعل بالضبط. هو response. هي response. هو رد الفعل أو الجواب. So we will do this inshallah. Next lesson we'll talk more about this. So thank you and I'll see you.
Thank you and good night.
On Tuesday. Good night. Bye bye.
Good night. السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام. Bye bye.